Very good morning to all of you. So we are back for the next session on leadership, and in today's session we will be discussing about the another form of leadership style, that is coaching leadership style. Now, what is coaching leadership style? What are its characteristics? We'll just see that. Okay. Now, if I talk about coaching leadership style, by listening to this word coaching, what comes in your mind? What kind of leadership style it is going to be? Where a leader is going to provide support or guidance. Like let's just talk about the cricket coaches or any of the game coaches. Let's just talk about that. Just think about that. So if you're thinking about any of those coaches, so what do you understand? Like what basically they do? They provide their support. They show the path. They find out the hidden talent in their team, right? So exactly, if we are going to talk about the coaching leadership style, it is similar to that coaching only. So in coaching leadership, it is a style defined by collaboration, support, and guidance. So basically, it is a style which is defined by the collaboration, support, and guidance. Under this leadership style, the coach, the leader, provides the support, provides the guidance to the entire team. Basically, here what they're doing, they are just working to provide the best support to them. Second is, coaching leaders are focused on bringing out the best in their team by guiding them through goals and obstacles. Now, what coaching leaders do, no? They just focus on bringing out the best in their team. They simply focus that what is the best skill my team has. Hidden talent, hidden skills, the areas of development. So these type of leaders just simply focus on bringing out those best in their teams. And how they do that, how they find out that best thing, how they take out that best thing, by guiding them through goals and obstacles. They give them such obstacles, they bring such obstacles in their path so that the members in the team themselves can realize their hidden skills, hidden talent. Third, this leadership style does not focus on top-down decision making. Now, this is a style which do not focus that the top management has taken the decision and they are going to tell that decision to the lower level management. They are going to follow that decision. No. This leadership style does not focus on top to down decision making. Here, the team members work together, collaborate together, and take the decision. All the team members play equal part in decision making process. Now, how to apply coaching leadership style? What do you think? What are the ways by which you can apply coaching leadership style? Can we apply coaching leadership style? Yes, definitely. Yes, we can apply coaching leadership style. But what are the ways? By what ways we are going to apply this coaching leadership style? So we talk about the ways. The first way is give effective feedback. Now, when we are talking about providing the guidance, providing the support, how we are going to provide the guidance and support to the team members? What are the ways by which we are going to provide the guidance and support to team members? Feedback. Feedback is one of the best and the effective way by which you can provide the guidance, you can provide the support to your team members. So when we talk about giving effective feedback, it says being able to effectively provide feedback. Now, effective feedback doesn't mean that feedback should be only positive. Feedback is something which is the combination of both positive as well as negative. People are supposed to, leaders are supposed to share their feedback in such a way where they are telling the positives as well as negatives about an individual or the team. Delivering feedback in a way that both clear and actionable, regardless of whether it is positive or constructive. So clear and actionable feedback is being shared that should be delivered by the leader to the team members. Feedback is something which will always help the team to move towards improvement. So now, when we are talking about the feedback, it should be very much clear. Like, see, if you want yes. So, feedback is something which is a combination of both positive as well as the negative. It should be constructive. Constructive as in all the necessary information should be added when you are giving the feedback to other person. Because the main purpose of giving feedback is that you want the other person to improve, or you want the other person to be happy for whatever he has delivered. So in both the case, it needs to be clear, it needs to be constructive, and it should be something which makes other person clearly understand that what exactly he has done or what exactly he is supposed to do. The next thing says is giving feedback is a skill that takes practice. So don't wait until your annual performance review to reflect those muscles. So yes, obviously it needs practice. If you just simply go to a team member, let's say you are going to any of your team member and you simply go and say that your work was very bad, you were delayed by one day, and the task which you have submitted that was full of errors, person will get angry and frustrated. So this is not the way of giving the feedback. So feedback is something which is going to be effective, because effective only when you're going to practice giving that. Do not wait for the last moment or the last day of the performance appraisal that day I'm going to give the feedback. No, just practice that skill. Being a leader, it is very important that you practice the skill of giving the feedback, the effective feedback which we are talking about. Because not just in the coaching leadership style, even if you are following any other style like autocratic, bureaucratic, whatever style of leadership you are following, transformational, transactional, you have to give. Being a leader, it is your responsibility to give timely and proper feedback to your team members. Then only you can make your team move towards the goal, move towards the success. Create a culture of continuous feedback and get in as much practice as you can. So regular feedback, let's say your task is going to take 2 months to complete that task. Do not wait for those 2 months that when the task is going to be completed, then only I'm going to provide the feedback. No, have the habit of regularly giving the feedback. Now, how this regular feedback helps the team to move towards growth is, when you will be providing them with the feedback, they'll know in which area they're growing and what are the areas in which they need development, they need improvement. So when you will provide them the regular feedback, it will keep them on the track. It will help them to learn those new skills, to implement those new skills, and to know where exactly they stand. Many times it happens, we just wait for the last day, that when the task will get completed, then I'm going to say. And you will notice that many team members, if you would have given this feedback earlier, they would have implemented that, and the results would have been far more better. So that is why we say that in the team, in the organization, within the team, within the organization, you need to develop a culture, and you need to create a culture where you are continuously, regularly giving the feedback to the team members. And for this, practice as much as you can. You can never say that I am best in giving the feedback, I have mastered the skill of giving the feedback, because practically that is not possible. Each and every individual will look towards you for the feedback in a different way. Some people might be there who just want to get the direct feedback, but some people might be there who don't want the direct feedback. They want polite feedback. They want the other person to give them the opportunity to tell that what went wrong, and then then the leader adding things to their own perception, their own views. So there are a lot of different ways in which a person expects. Yeah. That is what we need to develop. So this is the first way if you want to practice coaching leadership style. The second way of practicing the coaching leadership style is promote growth. Now, being a coach, you do not aim at being the best, always showing your face. No, you are the one who just want to promote the growth. You are the one who just want to make each and every team member to grow. So here we say that it is the leadership style which promotes growth. They don't reprimand individuals for short-term failures or mistakes. Now, when your long-term vision, when your bigger vision is to make the team members, make the individual grow towards success, so you as a leader are not going to make a note or check on the short-term failures or the short-term mistakes which your team member, which the team, which the individual have done. You are going to look towards the long-term success, long-term achievement which they are going to make. See, whenever we try new things, like being a leader, when I talk about coaching leadership, we have discussed that this leadership is not about taking the decisions themselves. It is not about top to bottom decision making approach. It is approach where equal opportunity is given to the team members to be the part of the decision making process. So when we are talking about promoting growth, here being a leader, it is very important that you do not just look towards the short-term failures or the short-term mistakes which a team member have done. Instead, you look towards the long-term gain, long-term achievement which your team members will be making or have made. Being a coaching leadership leader, you do not point out the short term or the small mistakes, because whenever a new approach is being tried, whenever a creative approach is being tried, there are going to be errors which will be seen in their implementation. But with this error method, it is going to make your team learn new things and implement new things which will make them move towards the successful delivery of the long-term results. Second, instead, they focus on the long-term success and the growth of the people they manage. So here, their only focus is the long-term success, which we have already discussed in the last point. And along with that, they just focus on the growth of the people they are managing. So see here, being a leader, it's not just about their own self-growth as a leader in the organization, but along with that, it is all about the growth of the people they are managing within the organization. It's critical to adopt a growth mindset which emphasizes that skills and intelligence can be cultivated and aren't set in stone. We do a thing that skills, intelligence, it is inherited, it is inborn, but no, that can be cultivated. With practice, with your learning, you can cultivate your skills, you can develop your skills, you can develop your intelligence also. They aren't set in stones. Okay, they are not the stones which are set. This type of mindset will help individual to think more creative, not be afraid to make mistakes, and feel supported instead of judged. This last point is very important when we talk about promoting the growth and coaching leadership style, because when you are not judging the individual, when you are not pointing out the short-term failures or the mistakes of the individual, you are giving the team an open platform to think more creative, to be more creative, and to not be afraid of making the mistake. Because here they are sure that your leader is going to be a supportive hand for you. Even if you make a small mistake, your leader is not going to point out that mistake. Instead, neither he is going to judge you. So this thing, that no judgment, providing the support, gives the team members, gives the employees an open platform to be more creative, because creativity is something which does not give you the assurity of doing the best. It is something which doesn't say that, okay, if you are creative, that means you will be delivering your best result. You are going to move towards the success only. There's going to be no failure. No, creativity doesn't mean that. Creativity just means that you will be trying out the best and the good way and best ways, will be finding out the different ways by which you can achieve the set goals of the organization. So with promoting the growth, you are giving the open platform to the team members to be more creative, to think more creatively, and not to be afraid of making any kind of mistakes. Third, ask good questions. Why do we say questions are important? So when we talk about good questions, that means that it is all about empowering individual and team to be their best slave. So questions we'll be asking just because we want our team to be the best slave. We want our team to deliver the best. Being a leader, your main motive is to make your team grow, because if your team is going to move towards growth, ultimately you will be moving towards growth. So it is very important that you make sure that you are empowering the individuals, you're empowering the team to be their best slaves. Next is coaching leaders does not tell what to do. Now here, this is very important that they do not direct you by giving you in written or by giving you the steps as, okay, this is what you have to do. No, they never do that. They do not believe in telling each and every individual what is to be done, when it is to be done, how it is to be done. No, their motive is not to guide you, not to instruct you. Rather, their motive is to guide you. It's not about giving instructions, because see, if we talk about instruction, if a person is going to say what is to be done, what is to be done, how it is to be done, then basically we'll say that we are following top-down approach. Yes, top to bottom approach we are following. But here, when we are talking about coaching leadership style, we are not following top to bottom approach, right? We are not working on top to bottom approach. That clearly means that here this leadership style do not focus on telling the people what to do. Rather, They guide individual to come to the right decision or answer on their own. They give them the open platform. They give them the open space. They guide the individual. They guide each and every member of the team to come to the right decision or the answer by their own, by using their own skills, by using their own talent, by using their own knowledge. So basically, you can say that coaching leadership style does not focus on spoon feeding the team members, does not focus on serving everything kept in the plate and right on their table. No, they push the team members, they push the individuals to think creative, to think different, to use their skill, to use their knowledge, to find the right decision, to take the right decision, to get the right answer by their own. Next is, it is all about two-way communication, be equally receptive to answering the question. So it is not about one-way communication, which is happening, that is top to bottom approach, that is not happening. It is basically the two-way communication where the employer is telling what they are planning to do, the team member is telling, is answering back that by what ways they are going to perform those things. So basically, it is the two-way communication where both the parties are equally receptive to answer the questions. Now, what are the pros and cons of coaching leadership style? Now, if we talk about the pros and cons of coaching leadership style, the first pros of coaching leadership style is it encourages two-way communication and collaboration. Now, whenever you think about effective team, effective working of the team, you will see that two-way communication is the best way by which you can make your team move towards growth, make your team move towards success. Because effective communication, let's see, two-way communication is something which gives the platform to the team members to think creative, to be creative, and to be different. That is why we say that coaching leadership styles give you the open platform of two-way communication. Now, feedback, asking the question, these all are the things which gives you the open platform of making the communication two-way. Because here, team members are also sharing their views, sharing their ideas, and along with that, the leader is sharing the feedback. Second is it involves a lot of constructive feedback, right? The feedback is constructive. Along with that, the feedback is also regular. The regular feedback is being shared by the team leader to the team members. Facilitates the personal and professional development of the individual. Now here the main motive of the team leader is to make the individual grow personally as well as professionally. The development of the individual personally as well as professionally is one of the most important thing on which the coaching leadership style targets. It focuses on being supportive and not judgmental. So here he's not being judgmental, and because of that, as he's not being judgmental, this gives the opportunity to the team members to be more creative, to come up with their new ideas, new ways of working, because they know that the leader is not going to judge them for the failure. Instead, he's going to support them to bring new ideas. Last is it creates opportunity for the growth and creative thinking, right? Whenever there's a two-way communication, it is for sure that it gives employees the platform to think creative and to share their ideas clearly and openly, giving them the opportunity to grow. When we are talking about growth of the employees, when we are talking about being supportive, this is all related to creative thinking. Employee, they want to work in their own style. They want to work in different ways, like they want to be more creative with the work. They do not want to follow the instructions, each and every instruction which is being provided by the top management. They want that they should get the opportunity to work in their own way. So when we are talking about coaching leadership style, this gives them the opportunity for the growth and gives them the open platform. Gives them the open platform to be more creative in their working. The cons of coaching leadership style is resource intensive, since it requires a lot of time and energy. See, one-way communication will never require a lot of time and energy, because here what will happen, the top management is going to decide the things and they're going to tell the employees, tell the team members that what is to be done, how it is to be done, when it is to be done. Right. So obviously it is going to take less time, because the involvement of the team members, involvement of their ideas, sharing their views, being the part of the decision making, that is not there. But when we talk about coaching leadership style, here people are involved in decision making process. They think creative, they use their creative ways of working. So obviously it is going to take lot of time and energy to complete of the task. Second con is doesn't always lead to the fastest and most effective result. Yes, because the reason is why it does not lead to the fastest and the effective result is it requires a lot of time and energy, and may not be the ideal choice for high pressure or strictly result driven companies. The companies who have a lot of high pressure, who have to meet the targets on time within the deadline, or who are very professional, who are very result oriented, for those companies, definitely this coaching leadership style is not a good choice. They should not go with the coaching leadership style. So with this, we'll be talking about the characteristics of coaching leadership style. Now, if I asked you about the characteristics, what do you think? What are the characteristics of coaching leadership style? What all qualities, skills are required? That you need to be supportive. You need to be a person who is very much focused and goal oriented, because see, leaders leave the footprints and followers follow the footprints. Now if leader is focused, if he is goal oriented, so he'll see that the people are also following that. The team members are also being focused and goal oriented. That is again can be the characteristics. Or he need to be assertive. So there are 6 different characteristics which we are going to talk about in the coaching leadership style. Now, the first characteristic is an effective coach is positive. The job of the coach is not correcting the mistake, finding the fault, or assessing the blame. The coach function is achieving productivity goals by coaching staff to peak performance. Now here, that's what we have been talking about coaching leadership style, that this leadership style do not focus on correcting the mistakes, on finding the faults, on blaming the people for what went wrong. Rather, it just focus on achieving the productive goals, productive results by coaching the staff to peak the performance, to give the best of their performance. If he finds that there is some mistake is going on, instead of judging that mistake, he's going to be a supportive hand by guiding them, by giving them the direction of what they can do to deliver the best and the productive results. So try the positive approach. So basically, it is the positive approach which the coaching leadership style tries, and ask for resources needed rather than saying to do the work done. You do not tell them to do the work. Rather, we ask them if there is any requirement for the resources to finish off their work. So basically what he's doing is providing the support. He's not finding the faults. You didn't do that. You should have done that. You were having all the things. No, you couldn't do that. What are the resources which were lacking? Do you need any support? Do you need any resource? Do you need any help? This is how this leadership style works. Right? It do not focus on just telling them that this is to be done. It focuses on providing them all the resources, all the support which is required to finish of the work or the task on time. Second is an effective coach is supportive. Now, when we are talking about the effective coach, he is supportive. Being supportive means it is more than providing and encouraging words or a pat on the back. This means the job of the coach is to get staff what they need to do their job well, including tool, time, training, answer to questions, protection from the outside interference. If you'll say that I always provide the support to my team members by saying, you did a great job. You know, your work was awesome. You have delivered the work on time. Marvelous job. Or you just say, wow, wonderful, by patting on the back. No, this doesn't mean that you are providing the support to the team members. No. Being supportive means that you find out the things which are required by your team to finish up the work on time. You find out the resources which are required, the time, any kind of tool, any kind of training which your team needs to finish up the work on time, to answer their question, to answer their doubts, solve their queries. And along with that, when we talk about coaching leadership style, we are giving them the freedom to adopt their own creative ways of working. So along with that, you're also providing them the protection from the outside interference. Do not allow any outside random person to come and interrupt or to point out the finger to your team. So that is also, you make sure it doesn't happen. To lead as a coach, one must serve, anticipate need, preventing problems from happening. This is the support which you need to provide, that you are providing as a helping hand. You are anticipating the needs of the individual, of the team, which is required to finish of the task on time, and along with that, you're preventing problems from happening. You do not allow the problems to happen. So that is how you provide your support to the team. Next is effective coaches trusting. So good coach trust staff to be consistent, to tell the truth, and to give a reasonable day's work for a day's pay. Yeah, you do not want your team to work 24/7. You do not want them to work overtime. You just give them the work which justifies the salary of the day. You even trust your employees that whatever work they are doing it honestly. You tell the truth to your team. Most people are consistent and honest with an inherent desire to do their job well. So you will find many people in your team who are consistent, who are very honest with the work, and whatever work you give to them, they deliver that honestly and on time. Tell staff what to do and then clear out and let them do it. Do not focus on doing micromanagement. Coaching leader is a person who do not believe in micromanaging the thing. Rather, he just tell them what is to be done and he just move away from that place. He just give them the space to do the work, to allow them, to let them do in whatever way they want to do. So here his only focus, his only work is to tell them what is to be done, give them the deadline, and then just walk away. Yes, walking away doesn't mean that if the team require any kind of help, any kind of support, he's not there. No, he'll be there, but he will not be micromanaging the thing. He'll not say, okay, do this way, do this that way, follow this strategy, follow the sequence. He doesn't say all those things. Rather, he just focus on letting them do their work their own way. And the last thing is, when there is a problem, work with the employees to correct it. You will wind up with a better employee and a loyal one. Whenever there's a problem, that's what we said, that you will come, you'll give the work and you'll walk away. But if you find that your team needs your help, your support, there is a problem, and for solving that problem, your support is required, you be there, you correct that thing, and you be a helping hand to your team members. The fourth characteristic is an effective coach is goal-oriented and focused. Effective communication is specific and focused. So he's very specific with what he want the team members to do, what he want the team to do. He's very specific. He's focused towards the task. He's very clear with the goals, like what goals the team has to achieve and on what goals team has to work. It deals in particulars and keep the task manageable. It sets a clear and defined goal. So when you want the team to work towards achieving the goal, it is very important that you set the clear and the defined goal. So here the coaching leadership style, just be focused and set the clear and the defined goals. They tie specific tasks to those goals. Now to achieve those goals, what task is to be done, what things is to be done, it creates a specific list. Like, okay, this is the path. If we are going to follow this thing, if we are going to perform these tasks, we will achieve the goals. So the tasks are specifically and directly related to the goals which are set for the team, and communicate those goals to the people who actually have to do the work. Now, once the goals are set, once he has prepared the specific task list, now what he do, he need to communicate that goal effectively to the team, to the people who are going to work to achieve those goals. So he communicate that thing clearly and effectively to the team members. Now, the last point is an effective coach is observant. So supervisors, managers need to get out and mingle with the staff and pay attention. They have to create a strong bonding with the team members. They have to create a strong relation, build a strong relation with the team members, and they have to pay equal attention to each and every person who is working in the team. So being observant means need to be aware of what is not said as well as what is said. So being observant will also help them to find out any kind of conflict, dispute within the team members. So being a leader, you need to be observant about the things which are not yet said but are happening within the team. And a supervisor who is paying attention will not have to wait for somebody to tell him about a problem. He will not have to wait for anyone to tell him about the problem, that this is the problem. No, he will just figure that thing out himself. The supervisor always maintain proper eye contact with all the team members. So these are the characteristics. Now with this, we have finished up the coaching leadership style. Now in next session, we will be talking about the collaborative leadership style, which we'll be discussing in the next session, where we will be discussing about what exactly is the collaborative leadership style. Now, if I ask you about collaborative leadership style, what comes in your mind? Like, what kind of a leadership style is this, the collaborative leadership style? So it means it is the leadership style, as the word says, collaborated. It is style which focus on encouraging the people to work together across the organizational boundaries. So that is the collaborative leadership style. In detail, we'll be discussing about collaborative leadership style in the next session of leadership. Then bye bye. Have a wonderful day.